Welcome to this Windows and Computer channel, and this is the Tech News Update. We are Monday, July 9th, 2018, and today in our Tech News Update, we have Mark Zuckerberg. That is now the third richest man in the world. He's richer than Warren Buffett now, so an interesting take here. And of course, shows that Facebook is generating tons and tons of money. So, of course, after Facebook being, bashed and everybody going crazy, latest numbers seem to also show that, there wasn't really a wave of people leaving Facebook after all that we've learned. So, I guess people are addicted to their social media. Well, there's a very interesting petition going on the internet where, of course, we learned that Microsoft, there's a good chance that they will never actually show us really the Andromeda project. Well, there's a petition circulating with thousands of signatures already to keep the Andromeda project alive. And they want to kind of show that, yes, Microsoft, we want to have these devices. We want to have what could be a phone. We don't really know. Twitter, in an effort to actually remove botnets and fake accounts, has now terminated 70 million accounts in the last 2 months, and the speed of removal is picking up. Right now it's actually at 1 million accounts a day, so that means that there's a big cleanup going around, and I think it's a welcome change, because one of the biggest problems with Twitter was the fact that it was kind of difficult to really go around all of the botnets and the different and fake accounts that are basically plaguing the site with all sorts of fake news and bad information. Well, Microsoft is having a change of heart. Of course, one of the biggest problems that a lot of people don't like is if you use the Windows 10 Mail app and you click a link in an email, it opens with Microsoft Edge rather than your default browser. Well, Microsoft seems to want to change this and let you actually open your links with your favorite browser instead, which I think is a good idea. Study shows that the Bitcoin is mostly used for one thing. It's used for cybercrime. Interesting study saying that the Bitcoin, because of its, it's difficult to track down, is being used for ransomware, it's being used for, drug dealers, it's being used to do all sorts of bad things. And basically, it's almost only that people are doing with the Bitcoin. So, of course, this kind of tells a lot of these, researchers that maybe, the Bitcoin should be regulated a little more. A interesting study by a security research firm says that no matter what you do, no matter what you try, employees in the business world use the same password everywhere, and that is just something that hasn't changed in the past 10 years. So they say it's very important that employees have new ways or different ways to actually log into their systems, including biometrics, which would remove the fact that, the same password being used everywhere is always a risk, a security risk. That is something that needs to be changed. Artificial intelligence revolution is sparking a war on chips. And why? Because, there's no default chip for AI. On the PC side or on computers, we have default x86, or, some devices like Android devices have default, ARM chips. But in the artificial intelligence world, there is a war. Who will have the most powerful chip will win it all. And this is an interesting war that I would say will probably help not just for AI, but for our own technology in the long term. Well, despite the fact that Google Chrome is telling you that sites are unsecure when they're not on HTTPS, and that it will become something that will be a major security risk, as it's going to tell you, there are still some major websites that haven't been using the HTTPS or the HTTP encryption. And among them, Newsweek, Time, Fox, and here in Canada, I have a few news websites that I go to, and I can tell you, they aren't using HTTPS, which is sad. And you know, it actually adds the fact that a man-in-the-middle attack would be possible, and that, you know, they can easily snoop on what you're doing. Despite the fact that you know, you always learn that or hear everywhere that, oh, Windows is a problem for viruses or malware. Well, security researchers are warning that a new wave of web-based attacks means that whatever operating system you use, Linux, Mac OS, Windows, Android, well, it's possible to infect you, and it's possible to give you bad code, because more and more we're actually leaning on code from the internet that's running through your browser. And so that security researcher says long gone are days that you think that Linux or Mac OS are going to keep you safe. It doesn't exist anymore. And finally, Samsung is going to open the world's biggest smartphone factory in India. And in there, it's just going to make cheap phones for the Indian market. The Indian market is really in full evolution, and it's one of the emerging markets that really is important for a lot of companies in the smartphone market. I think Samsung is jumping in and saying, hey, we want to dominate. And this was a Tech News Update for Monday, July 9th, 2018. You enjoy our videos? Please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.